Each week when Supernatural's done, make sure you know what went on. Listen to Heather and Eric, get the salt notes for sure.
Today, welcome everybody. This is Get the Salt podcast. I'm your co-host Eric,
and I'm Heather.
And today we are doing our rewatch of Supernatural. Today we're on season 1, episode 4, Phantom Traveler.
Yes, Phantom Traveler, which originally aired on October 4th, 2005. Written by Richard Hatem. I don't know how he pronounces his name. He only did one other episode, so not familiar with him. But our first appearance of Bob Singer as the director.
Well, before we actually get into the episode, I want to plug our partners, the WinchesterFamilyBusiness.com.
What up?
They actually have a new episode guide going through all the episodes. And actually, they have links to articles on each episode, videos, reviews, discussions, fan videos, all that kind of stuff on there. So visit the WinchesterFamilyBusiness.com for an episode guide. And if you're not fans of them, follow them on Facebook and Twitter at WinFamBusiness. And
yes,
enough of that plugola. The first question I want to ask you, though, before we even get into the episode is, are you afraid of flying?
I am not. I love flying. I would fly across the country just to get on a flight and fly back. I really would. I love airports. I feel very comfortable in airports. Well, and I love flying.
I am deathly afraid of flying.
Oh.
I totally am the dean of the real world when it comes to flying, except for the singing of the Metallica part. But I am definitely afraid of flying. I hate the anticipation of going flying. I hate the waiting. I hate waiting in lines in general. But I hate the waiting to get on the plane. I hate I don't have enough money to go to fly first class, but I hate the seats. I hate the food. I hate the fact now that we don't even get free food or get food as part of your ticket.
Yeah.
I hate the taking off. I hate the part I hate the most is the actual in the midair. I don't mind so much the takeoff or even the landing.
Really? Because that's where all the troubles occur.
Well, that's what's weird. I don't like the flying part in the air when you feel those little drops and your stomach sinks, like when you're on a roller coaster.
When you hit a little air pocket.
That for me is the worst. So I don't mind the landing or the flying, but I mean the landing or the taking off. So I totally relate to Dean in this episode because that's exactly how I would react if I was in this situation.
Complete opposite. I absolutely love flying. I feel so comfortable there. Now, cars, every time I get in a car, every time I drive on the highway, I'm a little bit afraid for my life. No. Have you tried to drive in Miami?
Yes. I mean,
it is literally taking your life into your own hands every single time you get on that fucking highway.
Well, in this episode, Dean says that the reason why he drives everywhere is because he's afraid of flying, and that's totally me. Like, there's sometimes
cars are so much more dangerous.
There's sometimes where my wife will say, "Let's go take a vacation." I'm like, "Where would you want to go?" And she's like, "Oh, let's go to California." I'm like, "Do we have to fly to California?" Then no, I am not going to California.
Takes an awful long time to drive there. You don't have that much vacation time. I know. I know where you work. You don't get that much vacation time.
I understand because I just try to avoid any flying at all because I hate flying. I had to take the last time I actually flew in a plane was on our honeymoon to Las Vegas, and I had to take medication prior to going because I knew I would have my anxiety would be through the roof.
Aww.
Anyways, well this whole entire episode is based on flying or almost like in a plane.
Well, this episode it's our first demon. It was freaking me out so much to hear somebody use the description black eyes and for them not to be like, it's a demon. Cool, we got this. I was very confused. I was like, do they not know what demons are yet?
Yeah, no, I mean
they didn't know what demons were. Hello.
Well, and this episode starts off with the guy in the bathroom. He's super scared to go flying, like I would be, and
he seemed like he was going through like some sort of drug withdrawal. To be honest, he did not seem like somebody who was a nervous flyer. He seemed like somebody needing a heroin fix or something.
Well, I mean, later you find out he has a ulcer. So the guy is like a worrywart. He has high anxiety or whatever.
And that brings me to another point. That and I'm jumping ahead here, but they make mention of we're setting up all demon mythology for the show right now. But they mention how demons prey on the weak, somebody who's nervous or sick or scared or has some sort of chink in the armor.
Right.
And that, we don't keep up with that. Like, demons just possess whoever the fuck they want nowadays, right?
No, who isn't damaged, really? I mean, everybody has some sort of damage, some sort of chink in the armor.
But demons can possess anybody. Like, Crowley jumped into Cass.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's, I mean...
Is this, like, something that I guess is not true anymore?
Well, I think
or
as we
did we
went
retcon
on...
that out?
Number one, I think
or
it depends...
did demons get stronger?
Well, that's what I was trying to say was that I think that a demon like Crowley can possess pretty much anybody. It depends on the strength of the demon.
Mm-hmm.
If it's your lower, level demon, it might need to have those rules met. But if it's someone like a Crowley or a Lucifer or something like that, they don't need that.
Lucifer's not a demon. He's an angel.
Or whatever.
But at the time of this episode, before the gates of hell are opened, spoiler alert, if you have not caught up completely on all 11 seasons so far, up to the end of season 11 on Supernatural, I may accidentally spoil something for you. So if you're watching for the first time right now, I'm sorry. Please don't listen. Now I forget what I was saying. Oh, but like at this point, demons are not a common occurrence. Only a few come up a year because the gates of hell are all still closed. So would the weaker demons be the ones that got to walk around Earth? Wouldn't it be the stronger ones that were around possessing people?
Well, really, the only stronger demon I would think would be either a Crossroads demon. Then you got the
Crossroads demons don't tend to possess, do they?
Well, they have the ability to grant wishes, I guess, or something. Like,
well, they make deals.
They have some more power than I guess a typical possession or a demon that's just there to cause a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, they don't seem to possess people to cause problems, though.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know the ranking of demons, but from this show, I feel like
somebody do research.
A Crossroads demon would be at a different level than a Hell Knight. What were they called? The
Knights of Hell.
The Knights of Hell would be at a different level, like almost like an archangel would be as a
Abaddon.
Yeah, that type of level. And then you got a king. Then you got, even though Lucifer is not a demon, but he is really the highest ranked evil type character, I guess.
Yeah. In
that hell type world. So,
anyway,
like you
sorry,
said,
I interrupted with my questions about demons.
Like you said, it was the first introduction of demons into the show, and at first I was like, well, is this a demon starting off, so early in the show? But I did notice that when the guy got possessed, he did not get possessed. Later on, we see when demons possess people, they go through their mouth. And in this episode, the demon was going through their eyes.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. That is a change.
Yeah, that is a little change that I was paying very close attention to.
They did exorcise him. It came out of his mouth at the end.
Yeah, but the entryway was through the eyes, which kind of makes sense. If the demon then shows, like, you see the blackness in the eyes, it kind of makes sense. But definitely this episode was my worst nightmare. So the guy gets possessed in the bathroom, goes up, now he's all chipper, ready to go on his flight, and he opens the door, the emergency door, mid-flight.
Yeah.
And at first I didn't really understand the fact that you really can't, a normal person really couldn't open an emergency door. But I was like, oh my God, can someone really just do that? Just walk to the emergency door and just open it in a regular flight? No.
No.
So then what's the point of even having an emergency door on there if a regular person couldn't open it?
You can when you have crashed.
Oh.
And you need to escape a sinking plane
because
or a burning
the pressure
plane.
Of the plane has opened up the pressure and even out. And okay.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, I was like, we're all fucked.
But it is incredibly heavy. That's why if you're sitting in an exit row, they have to stop and check with you and be like, are you sure you're physically fit enough to do this? And if they don't think you are, they will move you.
Right.
Because you need to be strong enough to open that door.
Well, it turns out that when the plane crashed, that 7 people actually survived. How is that even possible? Like, I've never seen. When was the last time you saw a plane crash where there was actually survivors?
There are plenty of plane crashes with survivors. I mean, it all depends on what part of the plane that you're in and where you land.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I ever heard of a story of a plane crashing and there was actually survivors, other than that Hudson hero guy in New York Sully, who landed it in the Hudson River. But other than that, I mean, like,
well, what I find odd is that the guy in the back, one of the survivors that they go and talk to, he was the one who confronted the demon as he was opening the door. He survived. He was in the very back of the plane. I don't know that That would be
right near the action.
Is that the safest area? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anybody surviving.
Yeah, because it was
that
weird.
type
You
of
had
crash.
one of the pilots and somebody in the very back of the plane. It's very odd that you would have survivors from the complete opposite ends of the plane. I think, although I have not researched plane crashes as much as it sounds like I have now. I'm going to stop talking.
Well, whatever the case might be, this is also the first time we're getting introduced into demons, but we're also getting introduced the first time to somebody actually calling Sam and Dean for help.
Yes.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
Normally they're out there searching for things to help with, but they actually get a call. The guy is what is actually this guy's job? Is he like an airplane mechanic manager of some sort? You never see him in the actual airport. You see him in the back, kind of doing some repairs or whatever. But he he was helped by Dean and his father in a poltergeist situation that he was having in, I guess, his home. Mm-hmm. And later on, he runs into this incident where he hears some EVP on the black box recording of the plane that crashed in this episode. And turns out he felt like this was probably a supernatural job, a job for the Winchesters. And he gives a call to John's phone, which then we find out later in the episode had a voicemail, which led him to getting Dean's phone number to call him for help in this episode. So I was like, wow, this is the first time someone's actually reaching out to them, which they also were like, that's kind of weird. Someone's actually calling us for some help. So they head out, but before they head out, they actually had a discussion. They were talking about, which was, again, weird for me, because as the show goes on, you realize that Sam and Dean never really talk about their problems or what's going on or dreams they're having or what emotions they might be feeling. They actually have a discussion that Sam is having dreams of Jess. And
hasn't been that long, right?
And I mean,
I think he's finding your fiance dead on your ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty traumatic event.
I don't know. I'm surprised he's over the nightmares by season 11, to be honest.
Well, he's not only having nightmares about Jess, they're both having nightmares of all the shit they go through, through life. I mean, I'm sure they've been having nightmares or dreams or things about the Wendigo and.
Oh, honey, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a rough road for them going on. I don't see them sleeping at all.
Look, just take lots of Ambien. Just get a lifetime prescription. I'm sure you can forge that as well as your Homeland Security badges.
Right. And how creepy was that EVP? I mean, I used to watch a lot more of the Ghost Hunter type stories, and I just realized I was just being fucking, dragged along, and there was never any kind of like real proof or real recording or real nothing.
Yeah, because if ever there was actual legitimate proof of something else existing, it would happen on Ghost Hunters on HGTV, like in the middle of a marathon or something. Yeah, so that's where it would be announced.
I was totally into those shows. I love listening to the people do their recalling their ghost stories of where they used to live or things they've gone through. So the EVP for me is one of like the coolest things in, not just in the show, but like in a supernatural world or in that field. So when you hear the EVP on the show, I was like, wow, that's creepy. No survivors.
But there were survivors.
Yeah, he's like,
but like, okay.
Except for the 7 that I fucked up on.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So this kind of, there are 7 survivors, and then they find the pattern that these survivors, after the pilot ends up dying in a different plane crash, they realize that the survivors are now all going to die on planes. Mm-hmm. But what is this demon's motivation? In all the years since, have we seen a demon with a motivation like, I want to take down this plane and then I'm going to kill everybody? Like, I've seen that in Final Destination.
It seemed very Final Destination.
It's very Final Destination. But
Well, the motivation...
why is the demon doing this?
Well, Sam kind of explained in the room, I think it was later in the episode, where there are demons who are responsible for natural disasters, like floods or earthquakes or fires that, kill people. This might be a demon that has it in. I mean, he might see it as an opportunity to kill a lot of people by taking down a plane. I mean, it's one of those things like...
They're trying to get souls down there?
Not souls, just causing mayhem and murder and killing.
But I thought that was like always the demons, maybe that was the demon's goal, because Crowley's always talking about the numbers and how many souls they're getting and how many souls they're losing in hell and the balance sheets and whatnot.
It could be a form of trying to get some souls, but I mean, you have to get
when they like the plane crash victims. Are they going to heaven or hell?
Well, it depends if they're believing in God or bad people. Then they go to hell. But Dean does say in this episode as well that when they kind of figure out that it is a demon that they're dealing with, that demons are at a whole level of what they've been above what they've been dealing with normally, where they're just not. You can't make sense of it. They're just out there to. They're just evil, and they just create pain and hurt and lie, and that's what they do.
But see, I find that's the thing in this episode where we're setting up the demon mythology here. I don't really see that carrying through the rest of the series because, at the come down to the end, it's demons are always in the middle of a war or following orders or choosing a side, whether it be Abaddon's side or Crowley's or Lucifer's. They seem to have a plan of some kind.
This could be some rogue, I mean, what is a demon's plan that possesses a little girl or some girl in Rome in the backwoods country? Like, what's the point of that? Like, what's he trying to accomplish?
I don't know.
Just a waste of time. I mean, like, I guess that's the only thing he could muster or get enough energy to possess. I mean, who knows? I mean, they don't explain it in this episode. But I just feel like it's an asshole demon that just wants to kill people.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that, I guess.
But why the no survivors thing? Like it's a demon that's a perfectionist? Like, I won't sleep until the job is done?
Yeah, weird.
Did the demon, the demon was sent back to hell, so the other ones ended up surviving?
Well, I mean, speaking of survivors, the one survivor that saw him by the door ends up checking himself into an insane asylum
Yeah.
So that takes some balls. I mean... You saw what you saw. You're not crazy, but then
I would immediately think I was crazy.
You really?
Yeah.
Because a guy opened a door that really couldn't possibly be opened by a human, and then you check yourself into an insane asylum?
Does anybody other than him know that? Because nobody other than him saw it. Out of the 7 survivors, were any of them around there? Because when the guy who calls Sam and Dean in, he says... They're saying mechanical failure, the cabin depressurized somehow. They don't know that somebody opened the door because
no one questions the survivors.
Because it's physically not possible. They did question their survivors. Remember the guy said he had already talked to Homeland Security when they went to visit him at the nut house.
But he didn't explain to the guy, I saw a guy try to open the door. He just kind of held it in and said, you know what, they're going to think I'm crazy, so I'm going to check myself into a crazy ward. And
yeah.
I don't know, it was weird. I was like, that's a little much for me. But
yeah, well, I wouldn't say things that sounded crazy to Homeland Security.
Well, in order to...
I'd be like, I don't know. Blacked out, don't remember. Sorry, guys. I would not want to be a part of any type of Homeland Security investigation.
So Sam and Dean try to actually then find, I guess, or look at the wreckage, and the only way to do that was to get some Homeland Security...
They had no need to go through the wreckage, though.
Well, yes, that was the one that answered their question was the sulfur, finding the sulfur on the door handle. But in order to do that, they had to get their fake IDs, and also...
At Copyjack, open 24 hours.
Yeah, and their Men in Black suits.
Yeah, they got their suits.
Or Blues Brothers suits, like they said.
They got their suits.
Because
the Fed threads.
Yeah, the Fed threads. But they definitely, the suits got better as they went along because they kind of looked like funeral outfits. Like they were ready to go to a funeral.
Where do they have money for suits and
credit card
last
fraud.
Minute tickets to on a plane? Because honestly, how did they get last minute tickets on a plane?
Well, maybe the guy who was helping them along or giving them the tips maybe hooked them up with some free tickets.
No, Sam buys them.
Oh well, and I guess
I don't know. I just have so many questions about airports and stuff like this. I'm like, none of this rings true.
It doesn't make sense. Obviously,
none of
it doesn't make
this
sense.
true. Well, it was filmed in Vancouver. I don't know. They're super nice. They let people do whatever.
Were you the one that told me you could actually buy the supernatural EMF reader?
Yeah.
You can actually buy it on like Amazon?
Yeah, there are replicas everywhere about that.
I think I might need to buy one of those.
Okay, so EMF readers, I always thought they were just ghosts, but I guess they can sense demons too?
That's where I was confused as well, because it's supposed to measure electromagnetic frequencies.
Yeah.
So I guess
do demons give off an electromagnetic frequency?
I don't think they picked up anything using the EMF reader, but
But on the plane, he's looking for a demon.
With that. It made no sense to me because at first they didn't know it was a demon while they were in the wreckage. So I understand they were trying to look for a ghost-type residue.
Yeah,
so that's
that
what they were
makes
using
sense.
there. But once they had already figured out that it was a demon, why take it on the plane? You can't use it for that. That was weird.
I don't know.
I thought the same thing when I was...
Why take it on the plane? What other stuff that they took on the plane? How do you get a bottle with some holy water in it? Like
this was pre 9/11.
No, it wasn't.
No?
It's 2005.
Oh, geez.
This is not pre 9/11. Homeland Security didn't exist until after 9/11.
Looked like he had mashed it up and snuck it in, though. It was the bottle or whatever was like kind of mashed up looking.
Yeah, like you may be able to sneak bombs through airport security. I've never been able to get any type of water through airport security. I've had like literally a sip at the bottom of a bottle left, and they're like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry, I just didn't throw it out." Like, yeah, I don't.
Well,
I don't believe it. Ridiculous.
The second plane goes down because one of the other survivors, which was the pilot
from
actually
the first
survived.
one.
He gets possessed and he takes another plane down with another poor sap.
Yeah, 40 minutes into the flight. What does this demon love about 40 minutes into a flight?
Well, they said it was biblical numerology, so they had to do with like
Bullshit.
40 days and 40 nights and that kind of stuff.
Demons don't care about the Bible.
Well, maybe this is his thing, you know, like you know how a baseball player will go to a plate and he'll
I know this is just because
do a certain ritual. That's maybe the demon's ritual in order to kill people.
I know that it's just because this is very early. It's only the 4th episode of the entire series.
Yeah, you sound really upset.
And they haven't settled into how things work. But none of this seems right to me.
The cleaning guy just walked into the studio.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
He's like, "Oh, sorry." So anyways,
yes, we have a cleaning crew. We're fancy and shit.
In our studio.
Wah, wah, wah.
So once they actually find out that they are actually dealing with a demon, and this is kind of like where you realize how, you know, we're at the very beginning of Supernaturals, that they're kind of like afraid. Dean is kind of like hesitant on pursuing a demon because they felt like we're not ready for a demon. It's kind of like not our normal gig. It's not something we do on a normal basis. This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Because he kind of, I mean, he's probably like saying like, "Oh,
he's like, there's nothing we can do. Too big."
Yeah. Oh well. I'm so sorry. But can you believe that they've come so far?
Yeah.
From
it's just like
being afraid of one demon to like facing the darkness, like the biggest baddie of all time.
the darkness that looked at some pigeons and was like, "Oh, never mind. I love you guys."
Yeah. So they're now trying to stop more people from dying on this 7 survivor list. So that again, it feels very,
We're down
very
to 6 now.
or down to 5 because there were 7 survivors. So, oh, no, you're right, because that guy was in the ward didn't die. He's still alive. So they're trying to help these people, and so it is very again Final Destination ish. I felt like it was like I was watching like part 4, was it, of Final Destination? They did 3. So I felt like this was like part 4 of Final Destination. It kind of felt like
they've done 5. So
did you feel like this was very like? It felt like I was watching a movie. It was a very well done episode.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
I felt like I was watching a movie. So they're trying to now find this flight attendant that survived the crash and contact her. So they again rush driving the car because I guess he's too afraid to fly anywhere. Dean is, and he tries to prank call the flight attendant not to board the plane, which fails horribly.
Yeah. Does 0 research. Like, he knows that she has a sister named Karen, but does not know that she just talked to her.
So they fail horribly. I don't think you see. Did you see? I can't remember if I saw the actual demon possessing the pilot of this new plane that they're going to be going on.
No, because he started out in somebody else and then switched, maybe?
So
I don't know.
they fail to take the flight attendant off the plane, and then they go to plan B, which is for them to actually...
The only way to protect this plane with over 100 passengers from going down is to get on the flight and exorcise the demon while on the plane.
And Dean is physically shaking. You can tell he's like not cool with this at all.
Yeah, Jensen did some good comedy chops there.
Yeah, it was really, really funny. I mean...
I especially loved his acting as the plane does have issues and is going down and he's in the corner.
Yeah,
freaking out.
Yeah, he completely froze. Sam saved the day on this one for sure. But yeah,
he always does. No, he's actually better.
No, he's not better.
Yes, he is.
So when they're taking off, again, all this, I'm like, this is exactly how I would feel. And this really is how I act when I go on a plane, like a complete baby and just holding on tight to everything. Have to take medication. I do heavy breathing, and I try to go to sleep as fast as possible to make the time go by. It's horrible. My flight, my fear of flying is freaking insane.
Aww.
Yeah, and
That makes me sad for you.
And this is where we see the Metallica calms him down when he's humming Metallica.
Yep.
So I remember we had, I think, a couple episodes ago where someone actually cleared that up for us.
Veronica.
We actually saw it again. So they are now searching for this demon on the plane. They trying to go around with the EMF reader, where we don't know why they're going around with the EMF reader. But finally, like, because the 40 minutes up in the air is coming up, so this is the kind of like around the time where the demon starts taking action. So they're kind of coming up on that time. So they say, you know what, we can't find anybody. They actually ask the flight attendant, which they have to tell her the truth of what's not what's going on per se, but tell her that something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which she agrees to very quickly.
Well, because she says at the beginning of that first flight, she was unnerved because she saw the first guy with the black eyes. She saw his eyes, and it
Did she see her black eyes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
okay.
she was directing people to their seats as they were boarding that first flight. The guy in front of the demon was like seat 15C, and then the demon walked on, and she said, "Oh, have a good flight." And he turned around and was like, "Thanks, I will," and had the demon eyes, and she was like, freaked out over it.
Yeah, so they first...
she saw the creepy stuff that the guy in the mental institution did too.
Yeah, and actually, we actually missed the part where, in order to test the stewardess, whether she was possessed or not, was because he originally wanted to splash her with some holy water, but then Sam tells her that if he says the name of God, Christo in Latin.
That's not Latin. That's Greek.
Whatever. That's
yeah. No, he's wrong about that. That's not Latin.
So he goes and tests the stewardess, and she's not possessed. But then later on, he runs into the pilot, and he flinches, turns around with the black eyes, and is like, "Oh snap!" Now,
yeah, okay. The co-pilot who, I'm sorry, but the co-pilot would not have walked out. I mean, I guess he gets a pass because he's a demon, but the pilots aren't allowed to leave the cockpit during the flight.
Well, apparently, when you possess somebody, you keep all of their skills and abilities because
right, yeah, they're still in there, but you're not allowed to leave a cockpit during a flight. And that's a security issue.
And now that I'm thinking that if it is, post 9/11, there would be no leaving that cockpit.
Thank you.
Yeah. Excuse me, this is your flight attendant. The coffee machine's broken in the back.
Yeah.
Could you come out? Why the fuck would I come out?
No. One, the co-pilot wouldn't have left to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Two, would never have gone because somebody was trying to get him out, because that's exactly what a terrorist would want the flight attendant to do. I'm like, it's not like they're existing in a world where 9/11 didn't happen. They have Homeland Security badges. Homeland Security was created directly after 9/11 as a result of it.
Yeah, they talked him out of there. They took him to the back. But one thing that I thought, if this demon was smart at all, he obviously someone caught him. They know he's a demon. Why not just then go into the other pilot's body, or move around to somebody else's body? That
maybe he's a dumb demon and he didn't get that.
He sounds like an idiot demon, because then you don't have to be the pilot. Just open the door again. You don't have to crash the plane down. Just open the same thing you did last time to the other plane. Or maybe there was too many survivors in that one too. Anyways.
Well, does it matter if all of them survive on this? Okay, now, here, how does his no survivors thing work? So he's on this plane to kill, really only to go after Amanda, because she's the lone survivor of the first plane crash that's on this plane.
I see where you're going with this already.
So if he takes this second plane down, third plane down, and hypothetically kills Amanda and 89 other people, and there's like 7 left surviving this one, do they then have to die as part of this new plane? Or has he completed the circle from the first plane, so it's okay that Amanda, as long as Amanda's dead, everybody else can survive?
It sounds like a horrible demon domino effect where the more survivors you have, the more planes you got to take down. But then
so he's still got to get the other 5 from the first one that are still alive, and then you've got to get the 7 from this one. Like, honestly, he's going to be busy.
He's going to be a world traveler. He's going to be going everywhere.
Like, it's just every plane in the world, just take it down immediately.
Well,
that's all you have to do.
Because then he doesn't possess the person he just wants to kill and then off them or something, make him jump off of a building.
Because at this point in time,
his thing is killing.
We're saying that you need to be weak for a demon to get into you.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't do that because Amanda's very well adjusted and no demon ever getting in. according to Dean's assessment.
Or just possess somebody and have the guy stab her in the neck and kill her. Simple, done. But the dude loves crashing planes. That's his thing.
I don't know.
That's the demon's thing, you know? Maybe he was like...
I'd like to know this demon.
Maybe
it's a
he
shame.
was... Yeah, maybe
you know what? The demon's still alive. They didn't kill demons back then. They just sent them back to hell.
Back to hell.
That demon still exists somewhere.
Well, you know what? That demon probably back in the day...
I need like a Maury Povich reunion show thing going on.
That demon was probably a pissed off flight attendant in its real life. And then just like, you know what? Fuck planes. I hate them.
Oh, God.
So they pin him down USC style, throwing holy water on him. And
making so much noise, and the people right there, like the row of seats is literally half an inch away from that curtain that she closed, but it's perfectly fine. Nobody hears any of that commotion.
Well, that curtain muffles the sound very well.
Right, and she's standing there looking calm, so of course nothing's happening.
Well, they're able to do part one, which is exorcise the demon out of the body,
right?
Which then in turn strengthens it because now it's able to do whatever it wants, and it's like smoke form. I don't know where that came from.
Weird. Don't usually see that, but
so
okay.
The plane starts going all crazy, lightning, all that stuff. Of course, it starts going down, and then Dean just freezes. Freaks out, and that's where kind of like where in the future Sam actually memorizes the exorcism. He doesn't no longer needs to read it from because this is the first time he's actually reading this thing.
And it seems like I forget the name of it, but he did say specifically this is a specific exorcism that he looked up, Romano or something like that. I didn't realize there are apparently more than one type of exorcisms that you could read.
Yeah,
I need to look into that. I should memorize that stuff just in case.
Just in case.
Not a bad thing. I know the preamble to the Constitution. I should have an exorcism ready to go.
You know, and one of the things that I forgot to mention was the fact that prior to it being exorcised out of the pilot's body was that he mentioned that he knows about Jess's death, and also that she's burning right now in hell. Yeah. And later on, Dean tells him, that's the demon's job. It reads minds and it lies. So it's just probably messing with you. So do we ever find out if Jess was actually in hell?
I don't think she was.
No.
I don't remember though. See, now I'm trying to remember if it was fan fiction or if it was actually in the show where she's in heaven.
Well, Sam finishes the exorcism and everything goes back to normal. Plane levels out. Again, no questions. Okay, this is this is kind of strange. But one thing I found very interesting was that they did not kill the person that was possessed. Yeah. Which is very rare.
I know.
They started caring less and less as the seasons went on about the people who were actually being possessed. Yep. Because in the beginning, it was all about saving the person that had been possessed. You never wanted to kill a person. Then later on...
That's why Sam started learning those spells so that he could get rid of the demons without killing the person when they had that knife.
But then
they didn't want to use it.
But then it started becoming more like the demons were possessing people that were already dead. Yeah. Or people that had received so much physical damage that if they were exorcised, the body would just die.
Or, at the time of possession, the people were perfectly healthy, but during the course of being possessed, they received injuries that would have killed them. So, and demon leaves, they're gone.
But then afterwards, it was just like that demon knife. When they got that demon knife, the exorcism demon knife, that would just kill the demon instead of sending it back to hell. It was just like, balls to the wall, just killing everybody.
I'm telling you, the Winchesters kill more people than any demon.
Yeah. So then later on, everything's hunky-dory. They go outside. They start talking to that guy from the airport, and he says that they ask him, how did you get our phone number? We have only had this number for 6 months, and he says that he actually called John's phone number, which Sam had been trying to call, which he says had been disconnected for however long that he's been calling, and he got their phone number. So they check, they call, and it's true. The dad left a voicemail on his phone, or not a voicemail.
His outgoing message.
His outgoing message.
Said, hey, call Dean.
Yeah, so the dad's fine, obviously. So now that kind of like...
that when that originally aired, that phone number wasn't the 555 number that you'll see on Netflix now, but it was an actual phone number that you could actually call and get Dean's voicemail. Right.
Is that true? Mm-hmm. Wow, that's cool. Yeah. I wonder if it still works.
I don't think so.
No?
I'm pretty sure I tried it again like a couple years ago, but it used to work.
Well, Sam is obviously pissed off that his dad is now all right, or it seems like he's all right or alive, and still has not contacted them, which is really a dick move.
Yep.
A huge dick move.
Imagine that. John Winchester being a dick.
No, because if you were in trouble and you needed help, you obviously couldn't call or leave a message. But now that he knows that he's good and you still haven't called us back.
I've never updated my outgoing message. It's whatever I don't even know what my outgoing message is. It's whatever the default that comes on your phone is. But you have time to update your messages. I think you have time to shoot them a quick text.
So overall, this episode, what do you give it?
Out of?
Let's go Rotten Tomato style. So 100%.
100. Ooh, out of 100. Certified fresh, definitely.
I would give it a 90 because of all the things that didn't make sense to us that we just discussed. All the things that kind of didn't make sense to us. The fact that they could.
So that makes it good for you?
No, well, no, 90. It was a great episode. I'm not saying it was a shitty episode. I'm just saying I would have given it 100%.
Nothing gets 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
For Supernatural, I could give it 100%. I love Supernatural.
If we're doing Rotten Tomato style rating, I'd probably go a 78.
Ew. No,
it's a very good episode. I would watch something that had a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. Are you kidding me?
I give it a higher score than that.
I feel like you're not using the Rotten Tomato scale right.
And I felt like it.
And I feel like we're probably going to be sued for using their name. We're not making any money off this, so we can't.
And
right?
no one's listening anyways. So.
That's a good point.
So no, I felt like I was watching a movie. It was very well done, and probably was. I did feel like I was watching a movie because it had already been done with
Final Destination.
Final Destination. So maybe that's why I felt like I was watching a movie. But before we end this podcast, I wanted to go over this thing I saw on Reddit on the subreddit, the Supernatural subreddit, by FIFA Fiddler 1. They actually posted a video, which I'm going to put on our Facebook once we finish here, of a video when Sam and Dean first met, and how they...
Jensen and Jared first met?
Or Jensen and Jared, yes. They first met for an audition for the roles of Sam and Dean.
Cool.
Very, very funny. It's a short clip. You got to watch. It's very cool. And then I actually started clicking through them the first time they met Misha. Yeah. And then Misha talking about the first time he met them. So it was really, really cool. So I'm going to post that up there. And what else do I got on here?
You're going to post that on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/getthesaltpod?
Yes, that's what I'll be doing. And make sure you, when you're there on Facebook, like us and follow us on or subscribe to YouTube. We also are on the Twitter.
We are on the Twitter.
And the last piece is, again, we got to give it up to our partner, the Winchester Family Business. They've been doing really cool stuff. Their episode guide, and they've been sharing some of our stuff, tweets, and we're sharing the love for real.
Yes.
So next week's episode that we're going to be reviewing, or maybe not next week's, I think we're going to try and catch up to make sure.
We're going to jump up and do 2 a week some of these weeks over the hiatus, just so we can get through all of season 1 before season 12 starts. And we have a release date for that. Season 12 starts October 13th. We're switching nights. They're going to move to Thursdays after Legends of Tomorrow, which we had heard that they were doing, but we finally got the October 13th start date.
Well, next episode is Bloody Mary.
Dun, dun, dun. A game of Bloody Mary unleashes a ghost who lives in mirrors and kills by gouging out the eyes of her prey.
I remember that one. That's a scary one.
Yeah, I remember it. Okay.
Have you ever played Bloody Mary?
Of course.
You did it? Oh my God.
I've been a child. Of course I have. Nothing ever happened.
No, never happened.
Wah,
but
wah.
the thought of it just it's creepy.
Actually, that one is that's probably one of the more creepy things. I still don't like being in a dark bathroom. Like, I won't go in the middle of the night. I always turn the light on.
Yeah.
I won't walk in a dark bathroom, but I think that's just because we live in Florida. I'm always scared of like a snake in the toilet or something.
Well, no, for me it was I've always wanted to play the Ouija board.
I have played with a lot of those.
I was always too scared to ever play with it, and especially I would never do it in my house. If it was ever to happen and I was maybe even around it, it would be in somebody. I would never allow that to happen in my house because you don't want to bring that shit into your house. You know what I'm saying?
Party at my place. I'm sure I've got one somewhere.
So
you want me to bring it to the studio?
How many times have you played it with a Ouija board? Because this is good information right here.
25, 30?
What? That much?
Absolutely. Well, when you own a Ouija board, you don't just take it out once.
No. The podcast is probably going too long, but this is way too good to pass up. So I need details. So When was the first time you actually played with a Ouija board?
I don't remember exactly. I feel like it's got to be over the summer when I was with my friends in New Hampshire, because the family used to go up to New Hampshire every year. I would probably be 8, 9, 10-ish, around there.
Wow. So was it specifically the Ouija board in itself is a game, right?
Yeah.
It was not meant. Is it on the box? Does it say to contact dead relatives?
No.
It's not like that.
No.
So what's the game?
There is no game.
So
It's you put your fingers on this little thing and you say, "Is there any spirit here?"
So it is a spirit game.
And then either somebody moves it or everybody denies moving it, but somebody did, and it slides to something. And
All right. Second.
it's literally, I don't know what the purpose of it is, other than people screwing with it.
Second question is:
Yeah,
did you ever make contact with a spirit?
not a real one. No.
So what? Someone was
Yeah.
messing around and
Sometimes it was me.
really?
Of course.
Did you do this in the dark or was it like full flesh daytime? Because
I've
there's
done-
you gotta do it during the witching hour.
I like doing it by candlelight.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Candelabra.
If you do it right around 1 a.m., but you got like a couple of those fat candles
Yeah.
laying around. Yeah, it's really good.
So you've done it during like that time?
Sure.
Wow, you got some big balls on you.
It's literally nothing. It is literally a piece of cardboard and plastic.
I understand, but the ramifications. I mean, you could be bringing in an evil spirit into your home.
I already live there. There's plenty of evil.
I call her my sister.
I've got cats.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about demons, there you go.
No, man. But so you've actually done it now as an adult as well?
I don't remember the last time I did it. Probably in my 20s.
Man, that's some scary. And you did it in your house too?
Sure.
Or was it like mostly at your friends' houses?
Well, it was at the one place where we go for vacation. That's I'm mentioning that one because that's one I have a specific memory of. Yeah, no, I've done it in my friend's house, and yeah, I've done it at my house.
So no scary happenings, things you were like, oh my God, and then like you couldn't go to sleep because you were so scared. Nothing
never
ever
really
creepy.
Never really had trouble sleeping.
Like
Big fan of the sleep.
No candles like blew out as you were like playing with it, or knocks or scratches or thumps or nothing like that ever happened.
Well, sure, but those were all man-made.
Oh my gosh.
It was a cat trying to get in because
Oh.
it was raining outside.
I don't want to spend any more time talking about this episode, but I'm definitely
I don't understand
going.
why. It's completely.
I've
I'm bringing in a Ouija board.
Do not bring that anywhere near me.
Why? I won't bring it to your house. I'll bring it here.
Do not even bring it in this building.
I'll bring it in my office.
Studio?
We won't even do it in the studio. We'll do it in my office.
Hell no. I am not into that at all.
We'll do it.
I don't want it to.
We'll do it in Steve's office.
You know what? I could
Let's
watch
do it in
it.
somebody else's office.
I'll watch it on Facebook Live. You could Facebook Live it, and I'll watch it in there.
You can't do a Ouija board by yourself.
Don't want to be near. You better find some people to do it because I'm not going to do it for sure. I think you need like a minimum of 4 people to do it. Or was there a minimum?
No, I've done it with 2 before, but then again, I don't believe in any of it.
So wait, so
I can't
obviously,
believe you're-
so you're just trolling people because like.
Not always. Sometimes it was other people that were trolling, or sometimes it was people swear up and down that they weren't moving it, but it was.
And it never like moved on by itself, or
A Ouija board is not supposed to move without hands touching it. Because the spirit has to go through your hands.
Well, this is a scary conversation right now that we're having because I feel like you're gonna like sneak it into my office and leave it in there, and I'm gonna be.
Oh, I wonder if there's like a mini travel Ouija board.
Do not even think about it. I can't believe I even brought this up now because I'm now afraid of you bringing it into my office and like something attaching to me, and I take it home.
I can do a Ouija board online.
No, that's not the same. We need a physical. Anyways, now that we ended off on a very scary topic, which we'll talk about more.
Ooh, I'm sending you this link. The strange
not
and
even
mysterious
send
history
me-
of the Ouija board.
Do not send me anything.
It's from the Smithsonian.
IT tracks everything in here. Don't want me looking up Ouija stuff. I already got the beard to go.
I know. IT
people-
tracks everything, and I'm really sorry, guys.
People already think I look like a terrorist, so I can't be receiving emails about Ouija boards.
I love it. Tool of the devil, harmless family game, or fascinating glimpse into the non-conscious mind.
Oh my God. Anyways, well, that's the episode for today, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
I cannot believe you actually do that. That's crazy. I've never met anybody that actually ever played with that thing.
I don't understand why you're so freaked out about this.
Because it's scary, man. It's some scary shit.
Lame.
And then, like, did you